It is the grim darkness of the 42nd millennium. Humanity finds itself still beset by the Great Rift, splitting the Imperium of Mankind in twain. Our God Emperor's glorious domain rent by the forces of chaos, the warp made manifest in our reality. And on this dark half of our Imperium, desperate to survive, to thrive, to live in the shadow of our glorious Savior, billions upon billions of human lives suffer in the squalor. But salvation awaits them, not just in the form of the Indomitus Crusade, led by our glorious Lord Louvre Gilliman. Oh, I couldn't say it with a straight face. Fuck, I hate that guy so much. God.
Logistics.
But also in the form of more subtle forces, like the task forces of his Inquisition, which seek out, guide, and root out the enemies of his Imperium. Good morning, afternoon, and or evening, depending upon time zone, ladies, gentlemen, and all those in between and beyond that binary of the internet. Welcome back to Tonight's Roleplay. More specifically, welcome back to By a Shadow of Peace, our Wrath and Glory epic. I forgot what game we were playing for a brief moment there. I'm Foxy, if you couldn't tell, and I'm perfectly capable of running this little game of ours for the next few hours, but thankfully I don't have to do it alone, as I have with me at the table four storytellers, four lovely friends of mine, four devoted souls to his holy Ordo Inquisition, and they are prepared to weave a little tale for you all. I could tell you all about them, but I think it's better if they do that for themselves, so please, acolytes, anywhere that I call you out, tell me who you are playing this evening, and if you want, you could say where you'd be found on the internet. And the last question I'll ask you for today is, if you were given the chance to get the one thing you know you wanted, the one thing you needed more than anything else, and the only thing that could give it to you denied you, how much of space would you burn to get it back? With that said, we pass ourselves over to dear friend of mine, fellow Warhammer enthusiast, someone who I have had many a good time ranting about, and someone whose lovely brain I've gotten to fully pick open and tear my own stories into recently, if you were watching around for last night. You know them as the architect of Tears of Divinity, Neon Light's one and only Turk Accented.
First, hi. Usually there's all these really lovely descriptions of everyone else, and I'm like, it could be me. Hey everybody, I am Turk, or Turk Accented on the desiccated corpse that used to be called Twitter, and also Blue Sky and other social medias, anywhere you seek to find me. And I'm playing Zadkiel Delos, who is a Space Marine of the Lamenter chapter, who is nothing wrong, everything's fine. I keep saying that, and, you know, it continues to be true for the moment, which is nice. He craves nothing more than absolution and redemption of his chapter, and if it was denied to him, I think it's been shown that the Lamenters are prepared to sacrifice everything to earn that love of the Imperium back, other than the Imperium itself. They're not willing to burn space as in, I must tear the galaxy apart. Burn space as in, I will light myself aflame to be a beacon of the Emperor's love. That is the Emperor's, that is what we have been taught. That is our chapter creed.
Well, zealotry aside, we swing ourselves over from one, let's say, idolatrant to another, as we happen to have this game blessed with another Neon Lights exclusive, someone who I could find a close and personal friend, someone who has been at a table with me through so many stories, and if I have it my way, will probably be at every story that I tell. You, of course, know I'm talking about Neon Lights' one and only Michelle.
Hello, it's me, Michelle. Today I will be playing our sister Hospitale, battle sister, Aria Yun Contour. As for your question today, well, I'm afraid that the thing that she wants most has already been denied her, huh?
Possibly.
Possibly. But, if it's in the name of the God Emperor, for the sake of her sisters, if the God Emperor smiles upon us, then, if it is command, she would burn incandescent.
Well, here's hoping you don't have to. Or if you do, you make a good show at least. Swinging over from there, from a repentant marine to a zealous sister, over to a dear desperado, as we are blessed once again with another close and personal friend of mine, someone who I think brings so much charm and humanity to the characters that I think they undersell how well they roleplay. And so I hope that you all will join me in this game celebrating this person and their incredible talent in this space of hours. I'm talking, of course, about the one and only Lan, the Dan.
Hey, that's me. Hello, I'm Lan the Dan. I can be found on the internet on the flaming wreckage that is Twitter at Lan the Dan. I do have a Blue Sky now. I haven't posted anything, but I am there.
Aw, shit.
And I don't know how to use it. But same thing, Lan the Dan. Lan was taken, go figure. And I am playing Barris Corbin, the man on the street. And if Barris had the thing that he most wanted taken from him, he would burn more or less of the galaxy, but as much as he needed to burn a path straight to whoever had denied him and burn them and have them burn together.
Would you say then that you let the galaxy burn?
I'm reading that right now, in fact.
Huh. Good book. Great book, actually. Warhammer Idolatry aside, I will, and also with a reminder to slightly up our Dan volume a little bit, as our soft-spoken, smooth-talking desperado is a very, very even-toned person. But before we are done there, I have to move ourselves over to one. Good job. Over to one last member of our cast. The most soft-spoken. That's not true. They're probably the most. They don't speak actually. They literally don't speak. But they leave an impression on the brain, shall we say? Not just with their character performance, not just with the kind of person that they are, but with the way they never fail to take a scene straight to its emotional core. Something I cherish in every scene that I share with them, whether it's GM side or player side. If you've seen this person perform, then you know who I'm talking about. If you haven't, then it gives me great pleasure to introduce you to the incomparable Meg Mysteria.
Hello, everybody. I am Meg or Meg Mysteria, and as far as whether or not Laura would, or rather Edelvara, since we revealed that.
You got a name. It's different than your other name.
I got a name, Edelvara, and there's not really much she could really want other than perhaps to see her companion again. And unfortunately, he walked away. So there's a real chance that cross will not happen again. And because just with how her people are, she does not want to see the world burn, even if she doesn't care for the people within it.
Well, suppose it is a mark of stoicism to say that one could know that they've already lost a chance to have the one thing they want more than anything else in the galaxy. To not want at least them to burn, for vengeance if nothing else. Admirable. Foolish, maybe? I know you ask. But if you ask me, I'm just young Foxy, aka Big Foxy, also known as Imperium Fox, Philly's finest, and I happen to play everyone who's not these four incredible people, which is hard to do because they are talents, let me tell you. I have blabbered on long enough, so it's time for us to get into the scenes so I can let these people show you what the fuck they're good at doing, huh? So, let's scene set y'all for a bit, shall we? Last episode, found the party, traveling across the wastes, through the mountains, cutting through a shortcut from Manufactorum B Secundus to make a brief stop over at Mine Sink B Tertius. Bit of an out-of-the-way area. Their real target is actually Mine Sink C Primus, where they have several, actually, points of business. Let's say that. Several points of business. However, while stopping here, they did find themselves encountering some things quite interesting. Namely, under the gaze of a strange symbol, twin eyes blazing around a circle, they encountered a nascent faction on the planet. Granza's gang, as they're affectionately called, are a small cell who definitely draw fear and recognition from their territory, namely because their titular leader, a young man named Granza, carries a story. A story evident not just in his twin, glowing purple eyes, but also in his heritage as the son of the now deceased Orme Uten. That information passed on, with more to discover, and I wager even more to discuss. Truths abound as one party member's truth is now fully availed, and others still have more to discuss. The scene finds you all, well, traveling, as it were. You left B. Tertius without too much trouble, finishing your refuel to get back out onto the road and traveling in your Goliath rock truck. Overall, while you still eat up the dune and find yourself moving towards the canyon line to either cut right and go around Minesink B Quatris, or go left towards the spaceport and cut to the mountains, you have some time here to just discuss, quietly talk, as you have maybe about a full day's travel left before you make it to Minesink C Primus. The scene finds you all here in your rock truck, pebbles tumbling under the gears and treads of your your vehicle. And otherwise, you are, well, left to your own devices. I'll lower the music some to give you all the space to converse as you will. And as I say so often, darlings, the scene is yours. Where are you right now, friends?
I'm in the back of the truck because they keep making me sit back there because you're too big to be in the front. But actually, is the partition closed at this point or kept open?
Up y'all.
As I'm asking the group, yeah. Or I guess the two people up front.
Do you have something you want to say to us if the partition is open?
I have some thoughts I might express.
Alright. Then the partition can be open. Enough for us to talk to each other at least.
What is our plan upon reaching the Minesink? We have been granted several objectives, yet no one proved itself the clear, true path.
Well, I know I'm going to be keeping my head low.
Your survival is a constant objective, of course. However, if we would seek to eliminate the gangers, perhaps you might be able to raise yourself. Tread without fear.
I can't take as many bullets to the chest as you can, though.
This is true.
Don't worry about that. I can always dig them out for you. You'll be fine.
I'm so reassured.
As you should
Emperor
be.
will protect you.
Wise words, sister. But there is also a matter of the third party, as well as this traditionalist we have been told to speak with.
I don't know about you, but I think that should be our first stop.
Politician?
Sorry?
We leveled
politician.
2 options, and you said yes.
I said that the tavern on level 10, the investigating the third party, should be our first stop.
Very well. If you believe this friend will be of use, and not yet more blasphemous allies the Inquisitor still clings to.
Our blasphemous allies have gotten us very far so far.
Something I hope to correct in the future. Our weaknesses may yet be amended.
Well, then save it till we finish the mission.
I intend to. If we are to travel to this bar and meet the ally, I suppose I will have little need of my armor.
I certainly hope so, though it wouldn't be the first time we thought that, and then would have been very grateful to have it.
The process in which I must don my equipment is not a thing I can simply see to easily. I would require a return to our vehicle if I am to leave them behind.
I suppose we have no choice but to take our chances.
Very well. We'll proceed with stealth then. Good.
Your favorite.
I am quite proficient in this act, yes.
Well, I presume that means I must also leave my Naginata behind.
Unless you can carry it without it being attracting attention.
Is not mine Cinque Primus a hive for ganger activity? Would not the open carrying of weapons be seen as not only normal but a necessity?
Depends on how many shock Naginatas you tend to see around there. Hey GM, is someone familiar with the area? How many shock Naginatas would you see around the mines?
Would you be surprised to hear the answer is not many?
I'm shocked.
Well, did you get hit with a shock Naginata?
I hate you. Kill yourself. No, I'm kidding. Don't do that. I love you.
Well, alright then. And Aria will just very disappointedly put away her shock Naginata along with her power armor.
I mean, could Aria wear could Aria's power armor fit under clothes, or is it similar? Is it also bulky?
Under clothes? No. Aria's power armor is slightly smaller than like Space Marine Astartes pattern. Astartes are also just by default bigger than normal humans. Aria in armor is, imagine a football player, but maybe even a little bit more armored. Like it's decent armor. Like
okay, so not
yeah, not subtle. Like you could throw like a cloak over, and she's like maybe she's been hitting the gym a whole bunch. I don't know, but like
We'd have to blanket. At the very least, it would look most definitely armored. Like security force, maybe she could probably pull it. She could not pull off a security force.
Either way.
yeah, no. If you wear your armor, it's recognizable as power armor. You know, so it's not like you just like regular armor. It's also covered in rosaries and symbols of the ecclesiarchy. So they probably pretty easily pick you out of the crowd.
Well, so the other thing is, I feel like Aria's been building a reputation for herself, has she not, as a person who shows up to disasters and heals the needy. How likely is it she'll be recognized with or without her armor?
Hard to say without her armor, honestly. With her armor, most certainly. At least one person will probably recognize her.
I will not apologize for doing the Emperor's will.
As you shouldn't.
Yeah, I've kept a lot of people alive. I'm not faulting you for that.
Point stands. We will use stealth and deception in order to achieve our goals of meeting this third party.
Right.
At which point, we might find a new lead, or we may still seek combat. Simply give you appraised of the logistic situation in which you place us.
I know. Do you have So do you guys have any weapons that you could bring that like won't attract attention? Or
Aria pulls out a las pistol, checks the chamber, cocks a loads around, and puts it back in.
that works.
I've got a knife and a bolt pistol. But that bolt pistol's still pretty big.
On you it probably looks normal, so or like a normal pistol, so
Bolt weaponry still.
You're not wrong.
Mhm.
like
Well-
I'm saying is it probably won't attract any more attention than he will by being there.
That's fair.
Accurate.
Very well then. We will be prepared and armed ourselves. Meantime, I have words for the sister, so I will close this partition. I ask you do not listen in.
Okay.
I imagine it's a pole. I don't know if we have the convenience of electronic raising of partitions. And at that, Zadkiel is going to kind of like settle back in. Sister Cantor, might,
Lord Zadkiel.
might I ask a favor of you in the coming days? Or at least for our next deployment.
Of course.
There was a moment during our last combat at which my mind escaped me. Something I thought impossible, but something I must now acknowledge has occurred. If a similar event occurs again, and I prove myself a danger to our group beyond my efficacy in combat, I ask that you protect our commanding officers. Or at the very least, remove yourself and he from the battlefield.
It shall be done.
Thank you. I will rest easier, knowing that that he is under your protection. And if you can, and if I prove myself too much of a danger to continue, please send me to my Emperor.
Then I would ask that you do the same.
Are you concerned for your mental well-being?
I do not know what came over me. That it has happened twice now seems dangerous.
We will both remain vigilant then. A pact between warriors.
Agreed.
And I'll offer out a giant hand to you.
Aria will shake it.
Nah, not a shake.
Oh, the
Warrior clasp.
the clasp. Are we going for the? Are we going for the
Forearm
for the
grip?
wrist
Yeah.
Forearm.
Predator
Yeah,
handshake.
forearm. Except like Arya's hand is so small compared to your forearm that it like doesn't even reach all the way around.
Good. Then my business is done. I will allow you to return to your prayers or other preparations you need to make. I will see to my own.
I don't want to interrupt this scene. I just want to say, art team, get on it. I need to see it yesterday. Get on. Start working now. I need to see it yesterday.
Brother Zadkiel, and I think Arya will pull out her hymnal book. Do you have any preferences?
All words that the Emperor gave to us are golden to my ears. Delivered by your voice twice as so.
And I shall start from the beginning. With that, I think, yeah, Aria's just gonna start singing from her hymnal.
Aria, you find yourself pulling from the Hymn of the Martyr Resplendent, a song often sung to heroes and warriors before going off to battle. Apparently fitting for an Astartes, you feel. As that moment passes in the quiet, let's let up to the front of the cabin. Lara, Ferris, you just sitting there quietly to yourselves, communing with local fauna, apparently.
I'm always quiet.
Okay, that's okay. Yeah, okay, fair. No, you got me. No, you got me there. No, yeah, okay, all right. No, I'll take the L on that one. Okay, fair.
I got myself
Yeah,
with that
yeah,
one.
all right. Damn it. Any fucking way. Are y'all having any mental conversation during the flirting going on in the back?
Is that what you call it?
Yes. In this canon, absolutely.
I mean, heading into C Primus, Barris probably is less talkative than usual.
I think I will ask. Well, what exactly is this connection that you have to CP12 over at the table? What's it called? I don't remember the name of the gang.
CP12 is the gang.
Yeah.
Yeah, CP12 cartel, officially. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, their leader wants me dead, so there's that.
I've gathered that much. I'm curious as to why.
Eh. Bad business, I guess you could say. I do a lot of things. Before I met Brimrose, I did a lot of things for a lot of people, and some of those people didn't like the things I did.
Barely something so severe as to warrant you trying to hide.
You'd be surprised what gets met with attempts on your life in the world of gangs on this world, in the worlds of gangs on this planet. In any case, if I know I'm going to a place where a lot of people want to see my head on a platter, I'm not gonna be chipper about it.
Wouldn't expect you to be.
I mean, we already saw what they're willing to do to get to me. You can go after my friends. I know you can handle yourselves, but there's plenty of people in my life who can't fare quite as well. It also means I won't even know who I can trust when we get there.
suppose that is something we will have to see. If it puts your mind at ease, I can always attempt to take a look and see what they're thinking.
Anything for a bit of peace of mind would be great. I appreciate that.
Of course.
Might have to borrow Zad's disguise once we get there, though. I bet you I can wear it better than he can.
Somehow I see it dragging across the ground more so.
Guess you're right. Maybe I'll
Yeah,
just
it's
need
part
to
of the
get
look.
my own. There's probably weirder fashion choices in C Primus.
Are you familiar with C Primus? Seeing as CP12 is here and you worked with them.
I spent some time here a while back. Worked a few jobs.
Been quite some time since I've been here.
You know this place?
I do. Been on this planet for a few decades now.
I guess so. Don't suppose you want to talk about why? I don't know much about Eldar, but I can't imagine they relish spending time amongst us lowly humans.
The Eldari term is Monkai, by the way.
I do remember you saying that, I just don't know if Barris would have heard it.
We're to fix that. Now being amongst the Monkai isn't generally favorable. They leave a lasting effect, and it's not the most pleasant of things.
A bad taste in your mental mouth?
Or so. To explain it, in my case, as you've seen, I present as a Monkai. That includes mimicking personality, emotions, things that keep me discreet. Like someone who can blend in despite disability. Means I deal with more emotion than my people generally do.
And emotions are unpleasant to you?
I wouldn't say all of them, but for the most part it is a generally unpleasant experience. and I can't rationalize something, consider it a problem.
I guess I can see that perspective, but some things you can't explain rationally. I don't know what else to tell you.
And therein lies the problem.
All I can say is I probably wouldn't have made it this far without emotions. They give you resolve. They let you see value in things that you may not be able to explain rationally, and they give you a reason to fight.
So is this something that I will have to come to understand in some form?
An understanding would be nice.
And I think it's as you finish that line, understanding would be nice. You finally manage to bank that last curve around the sump wastes and find yourself cresting a mountain and seeing a large, overworking spire as the mountain cuts into a deep ravine so far into the crust you can almost see magma at the bare best of it. As up ahead, you see a familiar sight. Well, familiar to one of you, at least. The imposing figure of Mindsync C Primus. I'll skip most of the preamble for you for now. You've been in and out of enough mine sinks and manufactorums around here that you understand the usual process of finding a docking port, getting yourself brought in through the main area, to the main storage areas, and eventually brought into a sprawling set of hive. Much like the mine sink you were previously in, the Tertius, you will find that C Primus has several large elevators that operate with multiple shafts, allowing rapid transit for multiple creatures or multiple people in between each level rapidly. You are currently at, well, level 0, effectively, as you're on the surface level. You can find a main elevator area, which is actually about due for departure in about 3 or so minutes. These things work on a schedule. But it's going to make itself down in 10 level gaps towards the bottom level, which is level 25. No.
Alright. Look alive, people. We're heading for level 10.
Very well.
You'll notice there are 2 Arbetes guards outside of the massive elevator open area or open bay. Their dress and the sort of white ribbon around their shoulders, which you've seen before, indicates these are likely from the same battalion as Captain Rannick. They don't seem to notice you all amongst the flock. They don't offer any look in your direction, save the same glance they offer literally every person who walks by. At their job is to literally look menacingly at everybody around them.
They're just standing there menacingly.
Well, until they decide they have to beat someone, which happens more often than you think. Case in point right now, as someone walks by and happens to swipe at what looks to be either like grabbing someone's bag, and it's hard to tell in the scuffle whether or not the person who grabbed the bag was the original owner and is trying to get it back, or whether the person who had it originally is trying to keep it from being stolen. Regardless of the case, it doesn't last too long as the Arbite guard near the elevator walks over and begins to viciously beat them both.
Great to be back.
Don't even really register it. Just, I mean, I do. Actually, now I think about it. Can
So this is at the. Oh, sorry. So this is at the top of the elevators.
Yep.
Okay.
Zadkiel's gonna make his way over towards that scene.
Ari's already pulling out her medkit.
Arbiters,
Citizen?
I bring word. From,
Abnormally large citizen?
I bring word from your Captain Rannick, and I'm hoping to like draw their attention away from the people being beaten.
Oh, yeah. Like, he has the shock maul up, ready to strike again. And then you say Captain Rannick, and he just straightens up some.
Oh, they do have shock weapons here. Just not Nike.
I think immediately as they straighten up, Arya sort of like kneels by the two people being beaten and just starts assessing for damage and treating.
They have some pretty severe blunt force trauma. Nothing you can't patch up with maybe a good 10, 15 minutes to work on them. But they don't look like they are conscious right now. One of them looks like they're barely conscious. They're very hazy in and out. The other looks like they're out cold. So while you work on them, Aria, you can go to make a medicate check for me. Go ahead and do that whenever you feel appropriate and hold the result for me. We'll slap back over to Zadkiel, who the guard straightens up, as you mentioned, the captain.
You were to report to me the latest findings on this bombing threat, if you have any.
And I'm supposed to just take your word that the captain told me to tell you whatever I know about this?
Can I, like, casually produce an Imperial seal? The Inquisitorial seal? Like,
Did Rannick give us anything to, like a insignia or something to, like, show
I would say there was something offered, yes, that you guys could show, if I'm remembering correctly. That sounds like a thing I would say.
I'm gonna assume Varys has that. So I'm just gonna stroll up like, hey. The large man is speaking the truth. And he's gonna pull up the
You walking up, Barris, breaks him out of the reverie of looking at Zadkiel's size. Lara, are you walking over too?
Or I'll join the crowd.
As you walk over, the guard notices you, Barris, walk over with the insignia, which makes him sharpen in. Sees Lara walk next to you and just says, and then looks down at the at Aria attending to the citizens and just, all right, this is clearly a lot bigger than my station. Tell you what, if there's any information you need to gain around what's going on right now, I'll let you take that over to the administrative office down on level 2. Head over there, give them information you have. Might be tough getting anywhere besides into the guard office, but if you pass that insignia offer, you can at least get into there. I don't know what this is all about, but it looks like it's bigger than me.
very well. Return yourself to your duties protecting this lift from would-be attackers.
As you were. And he steps back and kind of like deactivates the shock maul and puts it away. And he looks down at the two and you two, get going. And the one who is conscious kind of shakes the one who is unconscious until they start to kind of like wake and shake up. And kind of almost, even though they were just fighting a few minutes ago, kind of just, hey, come on. Like dusts them off and like picks them up and just looks down and just, thank you. Thank you very much.
It was my pleasure. Also, I got a lot. I got a 6 on the wrath die.
Oh.
3 successes and a 6.
Well, then I will. So I will hold that information, but I will say that as you see these two getting up and walking away, they are clearly whispering something to each other. Not like a trying to keep a secret, but more just like a very clear, like having a conversation. Like, what the hell was that? Did you see who was that?
Do you always perform your duties with such zealotry?
Just doing my job. Keep the rabble in line. Sure, I might go a bit overboard, but you go a little over the top, and it keeps some of the more mangy ones in line.
In the midst of guilt, or if you truly pursue justice, you would not need to go overboard.
Well, justice is the goal of the courts. I keep the law. That's it.
Keep nothing but your own pride. Oh,
And I think he kind of like looks like he's about to step to you, Zad. Like he like kind of bristles like that clearly got to him. Like he's definitely about to like step up to you and like be like, "Hey, watch your fucking mouth." Unless of course someone intervenes.
Think about it.
He stops. Whatever. Just get going.
One more
Yes.
thing.
Mhm.
One more thing from Rannick. You wouldn't happen to know any good taverns in the area, would you? Maybe on level 10?
Doing tails around there. It's a bit of a rat hole, but popular. It's a little lively sometimes on nights like this, so get there before sun goes down. Maybe you're lucky.
Much appreciated.
He kind of nods slowly and steps back, looking at his partner, nodding at them, and taking that same focused stance, chalk maul in hand, looking at everyone they can, glaring. And otherwise, well, y'all are free to carry on. I will say though, he is kind of staring at Lara, not in a way that's like he's like notice anything about her. Maybe he just finds her off.
I'm getting an underwing stare. I'm giving one back.
Oh, he does not hold it. Like, your stare cuts through to him in a way that, like, human stares shouldn't. And he just, again, goes back to, like, glaring menacingly at everyone, but deliberately does not seem to be glaring at anyone on this side of the field of vision to maybe not look in your direction ever again in his life, if you know it. That said, y'all carrying on?
Word.
yes.
Perfect timing, too. The lift is leaving in, like, 7 seconds.
Oh, fucking hell. Run!
Thankfully, you are literally right at the mouth of it, at the mouth of the doorway, and so you're able to kind of slide through. Like the doors just begin to kind of slowly grind close as like Aria and Lara step through at the last second, and then close about just behind you all. You don't have to like run in or anything. You're all perfectly fine, no issue. And it rapidly begins to slowly descend. It takes a little while. Obviously, these things move on ancient gearwork and machinery, and while the pistons still function and you don't think you're going to be breaking anytime soon, it's clear these things move deliberately slow to keep that not being the case. When's the last time one of these things broke and killed hundreds of people? Maybe a few months, who knows. Regardless, you make your way slowly down, descending into the, incredibly similar sprawl of level 10. It is equally populated, people moving about, chatting, conversation. You're sure you witness at least one purse snatching, maybe a store being mugged if you're walking by. The only difference really between the first floor, or I guess it's floor 0, or level 0 and level 10, is the sunlight's artificial down here. Made through hollow globes and lamplights that hang on high, cavernous rock far above even the tops of the hive sprawl. Doesn't make an actual functional light. It is a sickly white and doesn't cover everything well enough to make everything look anything more than just dim. But there you are.
Essence. Got it.
At level 10. Yeah, pretty much. They go for the mood lighting and failing at it.
We should hurry to this contact, lest a criminal element detect our presence and attempt to make movements on you.
Agreed. I'm keeping my head down. Would I have had a chance to get like a disguise of some kind or a cloak, something to cover up my general features?
So you can tear one of the tarps you have in the back of the rock truck and form a decent cloak and garb out of it. I will still definitely want a collective stealth roll from the group here if the goal is to stay low key.
All right.
Okay, no,
just
actually, you know what? Here,
one
hold
second.
on. Before everybody stealth rolls, I'll give you all a choice. You can collectively stealth roll as a unit with a set difficulty that you'll have to all get a certain number of successes together to pass over, or just Barris can roll. Just Barris rolling is a harder difficulty. However, some of us might not be so great at stealth. I don't know.
I've actually
Your call.
pretty decent stealth.
You said I was talking about you.
A slight bonus to stealth.
Ha 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 ha. Well, Aria.
What's the call, friends? We all rolling, or are we just letting our boy Barris stay on the low?
I mean, how bad are you guys at stealth? Because I've heard 2 people say they're pretty good.
4. That's okay,
Oh,
right?
I've got a 4.
I've got a 4. 4's decent, right?
4's not bad.
Be worse.
Yeah.
Super.
We also
I
get
mean, if
plus
we need
2s.
to-
We have plus 2s.
Yeah, y'all have plus 2s you have to spend.
And if we only need a collective, we need to collectively hit a number that is apparently
That can make
lower
up
than
for
the
it.
number I would need to hit by myself.
That's true.
That's true. I was wondering
Sounds
if we
like
could... Yeah.
what's the call then? Group roll?
Yeah.
Yeah, group
Mhm.
roll. This
All
this
for
could only
one.
go well, huh?
This can only go.
Nice.
Is that a?
Oh, is that a wrath
one on the
critical?
wrath die?
Is that a 1 on the wrath die?
Oh, we're off to a wonderful
Is that
start.
another 1 on the wrath die?
Oh, wonderful.
I was gonna give
I
you
have
this thing.
6 icons.
We've got
I have-
6 icons. I got 1 icon and one seal.
Oh,
Okay,
hey,
so
look,
just give me.
another wrath fail.
Wait.
I have
Okay,
4
hold on.
total.
Okay.
What the wrath die?
Okay.
What the hell?
Hold on. Okay, so give me everybody. Hold up fingers for the number of icons you got. Remember, 6s or 2. Turk, you might want to
Oh.
lower those below.
6s
in
are
front of the
2?
blanket.
Yeah.
So that's 3. 6s count as 2 icons? Okay.
Yes.
So that's 3.
I see. So that's 6 plus 4 from Meg makes 10, plus 3 from Michelle makes 13, plus 8 from Turk makes, I can do math, 21. 21? Can you do some for me? I did combine multiple memes in one. That was crazy. Anyway,
That's very sad.
so the 21 total successes is absolutely more than enough for y'all to pass the check.
Was it worth
Whatever.
3 wrath complications?
3 of us roll wrath critical. Wrath
This
fail.
that was 3 wrath complications, right? That was 3 in one test. That was 3. 3.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay. Just when certain things happen, you know why they happen, right? Okay. Cool. Just anyway.
Okay, so we passed the stealth roll, right?
You sure? No, you absolutely did. No question.
Okay.
You find yourselves blinking
Excuse me
and
for
moving.
1 second.
Go ahead. You're fine. You find yourselves slinking and moving your way through the long streets. This mine sink, this level, seems to be divided in a very simplistic pattern. There's an incredibly wide main street, maybe wide enough for 2 main battle tanks to go side by side if they really wanted to. And that seems to be a main sort of line of stores, shops, and storefronts and other places of business and entertainment and things like that. From there are several branching long streets and pathways out there that could lead to more shops, residential, and then at the very, very ends of those things, almost so far in distance you can't really see them, baked into the deep cavern walls of this area, you can see vast industrial mining operations. As this area is clearly, they're literally eating a circular area out of this level, effectively.
Okay, what did I miss?
Fucking goddamn it! You just missed me describing the mine. That's all. Nothing. This me GMing a little bit. Nothing crazy. Any case, now I can stop wasting time and get out the important thing. So, as you pass your way through the streets, you hook a quick left. As you can see, even from the junction of the main street and this side branch off here, an establishment with a rusted neon sign. Most of the lights being out, but a single, I guess, line that looks almost like a cursive M if you look at it at first. In fact, you think it might just be that until, perceptively enough to look at it, you recognize, it's meant to look like a dune. the Dune's Tale, of course. You make your way in and find the guard wasn't lying. Even at about midday, while many people are still actively in their mining shifts, this place is still decently active in motion. I'm going to go ahead and swift jaw over. Still decently active in motion. You will find that patrons are busying themselves drinking. There's a crowd who is raucous, but not violent, just yet at least. And though there are 3 separate bar areas, 2 large ones on either side of the main bar, there's a third smaller bar almost tucked into the middle of the area under the stairs that lead to an upper area above where more people are drinking. You know you're looking likely for a bartender here. There are 3 working. One, a stoutly femme-presenting person, short, muscular, and, well, grim face, but every time someone looks at them, they cut a wide smile, then cut back to that grim, focused look. The other, rather ambiguous looking, gangly, and rather lanky, leans back, kind of idly making conversation, pouring a drink while chatting up someone else queued across the bar. The third, at the small bar, tucked in, almost kind of hobbled over a little, looks elderly, gray hair and a mop hanging about their head, eyes low and focused on their drinks, barely speaking, just idly busying themselves.
So, clarify my memory here.
Yep.
The contact that we're looking for is associated with Brimrose.
Your Inquisitor said that you should go to a bartender and mention the third, like your third party or their third party, and also mention Brimrose's name.
We can pick our poison, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's 3 of
Where you
them.
going for it? It's true.
We could each pick one.
An option. You could also trust in your faith in the God Emperor and make a choice you think makes the most sense. Let his light guide you.
I'm gonna leave that. I'm gonna let the zealots make that choice then. They probably got more light.
And I'm making this as a suggestion. I can probe minds.
Also true.
That would probably be a better idea, and that was actually something I was thinking about.
Well, if that's the goal, then obviously I'm going to need a psychic mastery test to see if you can pull off your mind probing powers. But I also want to know, what are you probing these minds for? What are you looking for here?
I'm just going to just prompt the thought Brimrose and see if anything comes up.
Okay.
And we'll want them to know I'm invading their mind. Is a 5 total.
All right. And, okay. So, you briefly float the thought Brimrose and see if you ping a response in any of their brains as you weave through. That doesn't seem to ping anything immediately. None of them seem to respond to the name Brimrose flat out. Not in a memory. There is something that pings in one of their brains from Brimrose. It's not a memory. It's not knowledge of this person. It doesn't... You've never fully understand the way Monkai brains work, so very few things about them make sense, but this makes even less sense. Something about their brain pings Brimrose, even though by all intents and purposes, from what you can see in their psyche, this person knows nothing about them. Oh, I'm sorry. And for which one? It's the old man in the back.
We'll latch onto that one for a moment and also just weave the suggestion of third party in.
Almost the exact same thing. It pings a response. Definitely. It's not like this person has any knowledge or memory of that thought, though. Third party just gets you thinking about one memory they have from their schooling days where they spent far too much time drinking out with their friends. And sometime they were arguing with their wife about whether or not they should buy the premium service for some production they were trying to get on their vid screen back at home. And he said, no, I can totally get it through some random third party app, I promise. That's all you get. So
Okay,
you're
what about the
not sure
other
what-
two?
The other two? I mean, you get some other random memory that might involve the words third and party, but none of them give that same brain ping the way the third does.
The only one that suggests anything of relevance is the older gentleman in the back. Though it doesn't necessarily seem like anything associated with what we'd be here for.
Well, then let's go ask someone for a drink. Zadkiel. My lord?
Very well.
Do it, you fucking cowards, do it.
Aria is going to walk over to the old man, and just, do you happen to serve tea in this establishment?
The older gentleman looks and just, oh, I've not been asked a question that kind since I used to work with my mother. I think I might have a brew or something around in the back. You might need to give me some time to look. I don't know if you are like the youngsters here who don't like to wait for their beverages, but if you'll give me some time, I could see.
Aria is going to pull it. Is this like a sit-down bar or like a table bar or just a?
There's at least there's a few high bar stools you can sit at.
Yeah. So Aria's gonna pull out a chair, gonna motion over to Brother Zadkiel and just. We have plenty of patience here. It is It's been a long time since I've had some tea, so
Sit.
waiting a few.
Go for it. I was gonna say Zadkiel just like interrupts that a little bit by squeaking a little bit on the chair, and we'll just stop, and he'll just be hovering basically. He'll just be like perfectly air squatting over the seat.
Well, before our old gentleman responds, what are the rest of the two of you doing?
I should probably go with them.
Not a horrible idea. Lara?
I think Laura's gonna find a corner and she says she's going to use maybe close enough to try to be within earshot, but I mean she can also read, so that's not the biggest concern.
Fair. That's fair. But do you still want to be nearby-ish, or do you want to be like somewhere else entirely?
I think I'll be somewhere nearby, yeah.
Alright.
And I'm gonna people watch and
Okay.
eavesdrop
Fair
on
enough.
other people.
Fair enough.
As Barris goes to join them at the bar, he mentally whispers to Lara, let us know if you sense trouble.
I will do so.
So, as Lara approaches and Zadkiel hovers, the older barkeep looks and just says, was there a particular tea you and your friends were looking for? I could check around for?
I have not had a good cup of Silverleaf in months. If you could find some, I would be much appreciated, sir. As for this heathen, and she motions over to Varus. It's like, oh,
Wait,
what
I'm
we
a heathen now?
You don't drink tea.
Well, it's just hot leaf juice.
How dare you?
He doesn't believe in hot leaf juice. In fact, he doesn't believe
Only.
in tea.
Right. Well, then anything for you, gentlemen?
Do you have Briar Rose?
Briar Rose. I don't think that's a brand I'm familiar with personally. I could go see if there's any in shelf. Maybe ask one of the other bartenders around if they've heard of it.
You mean Brimrose?
I meant Brimrose.
Okay, I was
like,
I
are we
was
trying to be coy here?
yeah. I was like, is he doing a thing? He's like trying to like
Yeah,
not
he's-
say it,
he's-
but say it.
No,
clever?
I'm just
Is
dumb.
this clever?
It's okay. I
Or
got
is
it.
this something that Zad thinks is clever?
Oh,
He's
fucking
not-
hilarious.
Primrose!
Oh,
Brimrose.
so
Is
How'd you say the name?
Brimrose?
as you clarify, do you mean Brimrose? The bartender almost kind of like, almost curiously tilts his head, and even though it doesn't really grammatically fit into the sentence at all, and just Brimrose. And what's the matter of this?
Just something a third party mentioned.
His back straightens. He looks at you, and then the other two of you, and says, "And is there anyone else?"
Summon the witch.
Barris is going. Is Barris? Are we still within range of to talk to Lara?
No question. Absolutely.
Barris is going to say, I think we found our guy.
In the mental Skype call.
Easy enough task.
And he just, as Aria like kind of like tilts their head in Lara's direction, he looks over, nods, and says, "You will all come with me, please."
Ready then.
And I am going to need, real quick, all of y'all to give me 1 second because I'm forgetting what the stat I'm looking for is. So this is I'm gonna ruin all the drama here by taking too fucking long. But I'm gonna
Imagine
need you
doing
all.
that. Couldn't be me.
I'm gonna need you all to roll for me a willpower test.
Oh. Oh, I'm great at those, I think.
I've got
I'm
one icon and 5 on the rat die.
I got 3 icons and a 1 on the rat die again. I blew
I'm using-
my
Yeah,
glory. I
you
blew,
got
I
2
got one.
icons.
I got 1 6.
I'm gonna use my +2 here.
I
Okay.
am also gonna use my +2 because
Is that +2 to our total or +2 dice?
Plus 2 more dice.
Okay.
I'll use my +2 as well. One more icon.
Despite the whole spiel about emotions earlier, Zad is not the most strong-willed.
Despite the fact that
what?
Arya has a 4 in willpower, she does apparently is just not feeling it today. She's just been
Okay,
she has not she's been
going
promised
to-
tea and is being denied tea. This is the worst.
This is sapping her willpower.
Yeah.
I'm
Lara?
But how
Any
much
power
of the
of will from you?
galaxy will she burn now that she's been denied her tea?
Laura,
What kind of
how's that
effective
willpower
is
roll
this?
look? It's a tough one to call. It is not a psychic one.
Okay, so I can't
Oh,
just
I just
ignore
need
it
to
then.
know if it's fear or terror.
Neither.
Got it. I just wanted to know if I could ignore it or not.
Okay,
Also a
that's
total of
icons
3.
for me.
With a 6 on the wrath
Okay.
die.
Okie doke. So, the barkeep shuffles from behind the bar, opens a door, which you can all tell leads to like the storeroom behind the bar, and like kind of moves the kind of like almost rotates the bar around to kind of like create a space around on the side. and motions for you all to follow behind him. And without really waiting for you all, turns and begins to walk into that room. You all following? You move your way. You move your way down the hallway, rapidly hearing the sound start to fall away as the crowd becomes too far away from you. You move through several turns, left, right, left again, forward for a while. Turns become winding so that anyone but Zadkiel's eidetic memory almost seems to lose themselves in it. Then a door opens and you descend downstairs. Several flights of stairs. So many flights of stairs you wonder if you may hit the core of the planet at some point. Metaphorically, of course. It is at the bottom of those stairs you find yet another hallway, which you walk down even further. At the end of the hallway, there is a chamber of some kind. It is dark down here. The room not lit. And as you're, well, those of you capable of piercing such darkness with enhanced sensors from armor sort of things are not currently bearing that armor. It remains dark. The man stands facing the darkness, waiting, assuming you are all behind you, and says, I bring guests who claim to know of our third party, if you would speak with them, Master. As I understand it, they will now speak a certain code. It is a greeting amongst their kind. And this is where I'm going to see if I can push anybody's knowledge here just a little bit. It's fine if you can't remember it. It's a certain two-part thing. Your Inquisitor often says it back and forth back to you when ending certain calls with you all. It's two phrases. One is two words. The second is, I guess, 4. The first one, the part you're supposed to say, is 2 words. The first word begins with an A. The second...
Ave Imperator.
Damn, there you go. Doing great. Do you say it aloud?
Sure, yeah. Ave Imperator.
Things go quiet for a while. The man, who you all just now noticed, was subtly reaching for a firearm of some kind at his hip, stops the moment you finish correctly saying the phrase, lowers his hand, continues staring forward. The darkness remains stagnant and silent for a long time. Light finally comes to you. Not through a lumen globe, not through a hollow light in a corner, but through an eerie, sickly, green glow. You hear footsteps. One, and then another, and then another. Clank, clank, clank. Hard and metallic against the floor of the chamber. As the figure steps before you, you can see them now. Humanoid, but easily as tall as Zadkiel, if not an inch or few to above. Their face stout, grim, motionless. Their body covered in prismatic metal shards of blue and gold and teal. In their hands, a staff thrumming with more power than you think any device could possibly contain. And all of it held by a vast metal frame in the likeness of death itself. Ah, I believe this tale will become more interesting by the second. Well, let's go ahead and give ourselves a little break right there, shall we, friends? Look at the dial of that browser. We'll be right back. Okay. Welcome back to this night's episode of By Shadow Peace. I promise a really important moment just happened before we went away to break, but we came back, you know, with less drama to ease you guys into it. But more importantly, we find ourselves back in the caverns of this underground catacomb next to and beneath a bar in the 10th level of Mindthink C Primus on K2 in this galaxy in the Imperium. Anyway, our party has finally met, well, the other party, the third party, as it were, this mysterious force who their Inquisitors claim as an ally, a helpful resource to acquaint themselves with, revealing themselves to be the Necron Overlord Frazin the Infinite, High Archivist of the Nihalak Dynasty. The figure, skeletal but still imposing and powerful, looms over you all, power thrumming and humming in his joints as he appraises all of your figures. He steps forward, looking first at you, Varys. A metal hand comes up and cups you by the bottom of your head and lifts up. Not hard enough to hurt you, but enough to definitely be uncomfortable. Moves around. Baseline human stock.
I
Consider it.
would like,
Powerful.
if I attempt to reach out to stop, to like grab his wrist to prevent him from manipulating my friend's face,
You're good. You can do it.
just
No problem.
cease this assessment.
How hard are you grabbing, Zad?
Not
Like,
hard.
hard
I don't want to rip off his hand. I want to stop him because he's clearly, because
Okay.
I have the knowledge of Brimrose is warning in my head, and I'm already in deep enough shit as a member of my chapter already. Just grabs the arm. Cease your investigations into my friend's form. They are intrusive and unnecessary.
And he is uninteresting. You, on the other hand, Astartes, not uncommon. Later generation, you lack the same. He kind of pricks your skin a little bit. Purity of blood is some of your more notable kin. But given my analysis, sanguineous kin, angel sanguine, flesh terrors, lamenter. I don't believe I have one of you in my collection yet.
And you will not this day gain one. My blood is my own. The 13th founding is strong.
Oh shit, the blanket's coming off.
Yes, your foundings and lineages. I find Imperial history boring. Overall, at least. Over here, however, a sister. Your rosary looks familiar.
Aria is incredibly unamused, and I think is kind of stepping in front of Varus, next to Zadkiel.
I think he actually steps towards you and says, "Your hostility is surely unwarranted. You really, if I found you that fascinating, you would already be flash frozen in a tesseract vault and on your way towards Solemnis. You have no power here, human."
Doesn't mean we can't try.
Then try. All this brash blustering is boring. Do something.
I'm here to fight.
He's asking for it, isn't he? He's asking for it, isn't he, though?
Desperately trying to
He super
regain his
is.
composure.
Autumn-
It is definitely just like, leave
He looks
Brother
down and just,
Zadkiel
"I will-"
alone.
Well, I've had enough being ordered by monkeys, so cordiality is in due then. Greetings, humans. Humans and he kind of scans and like swipes a hand around it. You see his eyes, sort of liquid metal around them, shift and move to almost take in different perceptions. Warp energy distilled around the flesh to change our perception. You are not human.
She doesn't have a response for it.
We know of the witch's deception. She lacks the means of proper communication. Only able to speak through psionics. You would have to open your mind.
I lost my mind in a fire 60 billion years ago. And as for the Eldari, damage to the flesh so intense it cannot be healed with time. Where is your spirit stone, little one? Where are your people? Or are you another outcast? running away from your own people's failures.
I think the only notable thing I would love to add on to this, and I'll spend a wrath if I need to, but Lara would like, not Lara, but whatever Lara's actual name is, because Zadkiel doesn't know that kind of thing, would probably feel that Zadkiel's mind opens more, like the usual fortress that it is, though it is of course possible to worm in and around, seems to be more receptive, as if an invitation to use him as a way to communicate.
Yeah. I guess I'll say she takes the offer and says, I have pride in my people, but you have no business with it. I won't answer.
On the contrary, the only thing I have is business with your people. Your people and their fetid masters are the reason I am this. Your people are the reason the galaxy burned for billions of years. Your people are the reason that God feasts on your own souls. You are everything wrong with this galaxy, Eldari. You are young. You may forget the war. I do not.
I like this guy already.
Who does that hate more?
I think it's still me. I'm pretty sure.
Frankly, the Lamenters have not had contact with the Necron tomb world as far as I'm aware. So, weird, but hey, they hate Eldari, so they're not all bad.
So he's the devil you don't know versus the devil you do.
Yes, but the devil I do know is the devil I've been indoctrinated to destroy on contact.
Yeah. So, should we introduce ourselves, or?
Betis Corbin, local, born on this planet. Aria Yun Cantor, Sister of Battle, Order of Silver Dawn, Zadkiel Delos, if I understand it. And you, I will not speak your fetid people's tongue.
At least he has some taste to him.
Lara will do, if that...
There's just a side look for a moment.
Turns his head.
So then,
And to whom do we have the pleasure of speaking?
I am called Trazin, High Overlord of the Nihilak Dynasty, Archivist, Explorer, Scientist.
Are you an ally, though?
You are agents of this Inquisitor Brimrose, yes?
Indeed.
It seems we have his acquaintance in common.
I have known of him. We crossed paths on a backwater world. I was digging after some Jokero artifacts for the relics, and that slippery human got to it first. The flesh fried him. Should have. But I felt civil. Turns out, the Inquisitor had something else I was curious in. And well, we negotiated a bulk trade. I offer him information for things that are useful. And in return, I'm allowed to pick clean what things I do, even his operation zones. The Imperium is not all-powerful, but it is annoyingly persistent.
In that case, I believe he sent us here to request some information of you.
Right. I assume you brought the bargain then?
What would you seek to bargain with?
Oh, we'll start simple. I'll take you.
Should
Armor
also see
included,
one,
yes,
yeah.
of course. Zad.
Uh,
Armor included, of course. I'll need it for the collection. I have a scene from the Badab sector that I don't quite replicate properly, and I believe I need at least 2 more Marines from your chapter to properly replicate the diagram. I don't know if you were there or not, but substitutions will do. I can modify your armor accordingly.
I was. And whatever pithy reconstruction you seek to create, I assure you it will falter.
Even better. Then you can recreate your own pose. I won't have to flash by you that way.
If that is the wish... And
it is not. It is not. It is not the wish. It is not the wish.
Sent among the ranks. Interesting.
The squad members are not up for bargain. However, if it's an Astartes you want, we may be able to get you one.
One I do not already have.
Perhaps.
I'm not privy to the vastness of your collection, but it is certainly possible.
Would you
suppose
like
won't
to
know
be?
unless you help us.
Would you like to be? I could give you a very direct tour of my exhibits. First hand, one might say.
If
If
you
you're
would...
generous of you, but I'm afraid we have more pressing matters.
Indeed. So, I will begin this very, very simplistically. Any weapons you have will be on the ground first. I like this body. I'm not going to ask you about any questions. Your weapons are already moving out of your hands. And by that I mean you're moving your hands and putting your weapons on the ground.
Sorcery.
Not at all. Science. The mind shackle scarabs are a beautiful invention of my own. I could have made them simply turn you inside out if I wished to. Instead, I've simply dampened your desire to resist me. You'll notice then the human at the back corner will just kind of look and say, "Is there anything more you require from me, master?" Let's say, "That is all. You may go." And the human will, almost kind of robotically, turn around and begin to walk back up the stairs. Now then, we can speak comfortably. Would you like a sit? I no longer have nerves, but I believe legs get tired, yes?
If you have access to our minds, then you have no doubt seen the memory which I was able to reconstruct of the death of a local governor of this planet. You are aware that...
I cannot read your minds. But I am privy to the death of the politician here. I don't busy myself with human gossip, but it helps to keep one's ear around.
The cause of that shot was likely one of a different chapter than my own.
You mean a traitor?
Only a traitor would pursue this line of action. So I must assume you are correct.
He steps towards you. And does that burn within you, Astartes? I must say, human history bores me on the whole. You are a pithy, insignificant species, squabbling and squatting in the ruins of an empire you will never understand. But the heresy, that was drama. That was story. Betrayal. Brother turned against brother. Astartes butchering Astartes. Beautiful, was it not? Does that fire still burn in your muted blood, Astartes?
I was too young to know the fire of betrayal that was lit with the death of my father, Sanguinius. I have been taught and was bred to not know it, but I still feel it. If you ask if I feel anger towards my brothers, those who have turned from the ways of our beloved Emperor, No, I only weep for their failings.
When the war ended and our people began the great slumber, the last of our silent kings took off into the galactic void. Though he has now returned, he made a decision to sever our command anchors before he left, to grant us true freedom from his will. I see humans have not quite evolved such. Nonetheless, the thought of another starting to conflict on the planet does interest me. What is it you wish to know?
I'm just gonna purposely turn his head to hopefully direct his attention towards Barris.
How much do you know about the dealings of Orme Uden, the politician who was killed?
Ah, you mean the firebrand? Yes, I must say, his manner of speaking is curious. There was a great pharaoh a long time ago of the Amunos dynasty who spoke in such a manner. But before I get reminiscent, I knew much of him. His dealings were largely private. He kept close to his compatriots and distant from his enemies. Promised his people great things and in the end died giving none of them. Such is often the case in this Imperium. I do know he kept his secrets, however.
One of those secrets involved arrangements with alien life forms.
Eldarireros. I am aware. Be honest. Did you think I was on this dust ball for no reason?
Then you know the subject of their agreements.
Indeed. Beneath this fetid human populace sleep the Akenrath dynasty. They were a belligerent group. They waged many atrocities during the Secession Wars. But in the war against the Old Ones, they were violent to a T. When the time came to shatter our Catan masters, they went into slumber willingly, knowing none amongst the court would trust them. Their awakening would be interesting.
Well, drama aside, as we were about to confront Orme about these dealings, he was assassinated. Now we're on the search. Now we search for his killer as the only lead we have left in our mission.
And you believe these traitorous Astartes are the culprits?
There's not many people who could have made the shot that killed Orme.
Ah, but there are many war bands of traitorous Astartes who would kill to deal any damage they can to the Imperium. The Black Legion, the Word Bearers, the Emperor's Trilgen, the Crimson Tempest, the Red Reavers, the Plague, the Death Guard, the Betrayed, the Oathbreakers. Myriad are the number of those who would see the Emperor downtrodden for a sin they believe cast upon them. And when a group feels bereaved, they will leave entire star systems in flame to seek their vengeance. I would know.
And were any of those Astartes a couple miles outside the city where Orme was killed?
I have not been made privy immediately to any Astartes dealings here, save for, well, reports of a yellow-armored giant monkey walking around the town before a politician got murdered. This does not mean there are none, however.
So real quick, this is above tail, but I believe somebody heard the words Hydra Dominatus whispered at some point, or was that just
I think we saw I think somebody saw like the tattoo with that somewhere.
Mhm.
Yeah.
At some point, saw a tattoo that was a serpent eating itself.
Oh, like an Ouroboros?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember who saw it?
I want to say it was either Barris or Lara, because I
I
remember
think it was, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was.
One
I
of the
think
two
it
of
was
you.
Baris because I think Baris was the one who rolled really well
Oh,
on perception.
boy. Are any of those Astartes... Would a symbol of a serpent eating its own tail be relevant to any of those chapters?
Krasen quietly turns his head and looks and moves towards the table, waving a hand as a sort of green hololith of several symbols appears. The wording and text next to them is in a language none of you could possibly make any sense of. Lara, maybe you've seen it once or twice on some ancient monoliths around places you visited in your travels. It's a Necron-tier script, clearly. But
You can read Necron.
that's fair. Well, there you go. In which case, you would know that Trazen is clearly searching through a database, a library that appears to account for, well, his collection. He sorts through the Imperium category, armed forces, Astartes, moves through a category. He has them separated not by legion, but in fact by date he encountered them. And as he moves through a separate category, he moves through a series of symbols. You see several different combinations of symbols in this pattern he pulls up. One looks like an inverse A with an omega symbol upside down imposed under it. One looks like a serpent, multiple serpents in a circle, each head poised to devour the other. One looks like a chain linked together, unbroken. Another looks like the Ouroboros you described, a circular snake devouring itself. And well, I don't know if any of you, save for Lara, read Necrontier. You don't. Trust me, you don't. But Lara, you do. And you can read that category pretty easily. Alpha Legion.
So she will kind of dictate the gist of it. He's going, as much as they probably already understand, he's going through a database and is settled on looking into the Alpha Legion.
Would it appear at all like this?
That one, yeah.
Sons of Alpharius. Alpha Legion. Covert, secretive, subversive. They would fit the bill, I suppose.
And where might an Alpha Legion Astartes be hiding on this world?
If you were aware of that, they are doing the job poorly. The Alpha Legion are secrecy incarnate. Plans within plans. Lies within truths, held and sown with further mistruths. Nothing about them is opaque. Even for one as elderly as I. They are still simplistic in the manner humans are. They are just more subtle than the other monkeys.
one of the originals to fall. Or-
Some say.
Their chapter master fell. The Iron Fists saw to that.
Some say.
They may hide behind their games and shadow as much as they like, but I assume one such as you would know the truth of the matter.
Perhaps. But the mystery is in the story. And the story is everything. Mayhap you may find these invaders, bring them to your imperial justice. Then you may accost them for these answers you seek.
Then we must scour every shadow. The Alpha Legion does good work, if history would recall.
That does leave, however, a matter of our negotiation. You offer an Astartes not in my collection. I have a few Alpha Legion specimen already. What else can you place on the table?
Was it not enough to offer the chapter master Alferes?
You believe you can produce the body of a Primarch?
I believe I will find one who claims to be him then.
No, sadly, as much as I can say, my exhibit on the Alpha Legion is largely complete. I am missing one specimen, but I have a deal waiting. No. I must say, it's tough. You mentioned your squad members are off the table, which means I cannot complete my Lamentor exhibit. And the sister who stinks of warp correction is also very interesting.
Of what?
Oh, that look promises drama. He cuts his, and plinks on his staff back over towards you, Aria. Did they not know, sister, that the stink of the Immaterium is all about you? Did you not know?
Are you certain?
He would say, darling, if you could see through my Imperium scanners right now, you would see that you are reeking etheric energy. Almost more so than the Psyker.
Tell me, is that an interesting story for you?
It does promise drama. Faith pushed. Humanity challenged. And in the middle of it, you, the pious believer. Yes, they can weave a grand tale about this.
Then let's weave a fun story for you. Shall we?
I like the way this one thinks. I will offer you one final piece of information, and in it, make clear my bargain. Accept its terms, and you have my further cooperation. My collection is vast, and I may be willing to part with certain spares in my collection, should you require equipment more esoteric than the rabble here can provide. The Amratak dynasty is sleeping here, but I have no business with them. Let them slumber eternally for all I care. They, however, were the keepers of great relics, artifacts of phenomenal power. One of them is buried on this world. All I ask is that you not intrude my work in finding it.
Well, it certainly wouldn't be a fun story if you used it to cause too much mayhem, would it?
Me? Mayhem? You will find the history of your species means you have brought enough.
After all, you are a reader and watcher. Is that correct?
I have seen much. And let me tell you, empires have one thing in common. They die.
We'll stay out of your way.
And so it shall be.
Thank you for your cooperation.
Lightness on this one. Fascinating. Go on then. These scarabs will see you out.
Is there anything else that, like, we should be asking him before we go?
I do have something, but it's probably not mission important. Actually, it kind of is.
Like, maybe about the bombing, or, like...
Feels like my bombing might be a bit below his notice. Like
I'm losing track of all the plot threads here.
Bombing and the reformers and all that, it seems like we're talking to someone with a higher view of things. Like,
Yes.
he's looking down on the world and, like, picking up interesting points, but he's not digging deep because they're like, well, he's not interfering with my work. What
He has made it very clear that he looks down on the world.
what Zadkiel is going to do is, I require armaments.
He looks. If I have gained enough information on standard tactics loadouts, that would mean a functioning chainsword, bolt pistol, bolter, and ammunition, yes?
I like the chain sword. The others can be acquired. The other weapons I already have on my person. He looks towards the ground, his bolt pistol. Ammunition is what I lack.
He waves a hand, and a portal of pure green hard light opens just behind him. A sort of slouched over black metal creature of black metal stalks out with a single bright green robotic eye and holds a sort of cube in front of, or two cubes in front of Trajan. He hovers both of them in front of his hands. Clicks the first one. The Tesseract vault pops open, materializing several large clips of bolter ammunition. He floats that one in your direction. He taps the second, and it pops open a chainsword. You would have recognized it, in fact, Zadkiel, as the currently missing mastercrafted chainsword of Captain Angelo Vamir, Blood Angel's 14th Company. And I said 14th Company, as in going back to before Marines only had 10 companies, which means this chainsword dates to before the heresy.
Of course, the only time you find Angelos on a wiki is Gabriel Angelos, but... Anyway, he will definitely...
Get her up on the spot, that's why.
It's still super cool. Honestly, I was ready to find it on wiki. His eyes will still like fall upon him with reverence, and what I ask how you acquired for this. I only ask a fair expectation of what you will require for its acquisition.
Your helmet, Astartes. Not now, but before you leave this world. Your helmet. It will fit well on my wall.
There's equipment I'm willing to part with.
So, are you sure?
The helmet can be replaced. Mine in particular has seen little wear. I must assume the enemy's fear to strike me in my head.
If you're okay with that.
Let our foes know that I'm a proud veteran of many a campaign. acknowledged and unacknowledged.
Yes, idolatry and militarism aside, please take it. Can't find a spot for it among the weapon collection, and it's taking up spots.
Then you do not recognize it for the treasure that it is. But our deal is set in stone. And he will like hold. He's holding this exactly like one who like actually knows how to hold a sword. You know, really appreciate it, even though it effectively is a super long fucking chainsaw.
Skin your ass raw.
Just does like take a moment and balances it on both hands openly. I would thank you had it not come with a cost.
Everything comes with a cost, human.
Too true. And he'll stow it as best he can. I think he'll throw it back under some robes, setting one arm's purpose entirely to keeping it pressed to his body at this point. The ammunition being loaded back in on packs in his backpack. I assume he's been given some other people's stuff as well, because, you know, just fucking tank of a boy. Might as well use him. Come on, people. He'll not so much thank him with a nod, but just still kind of nod as an acknowledgement. You have proven yourself an exemption amongst your kind.
I would say you have as well, but, well, lying would serve little purpose now.
That the Emperor's love is known even to you does not set my heart to any concern. And I will...
As he kind of like slowly steps back and you all feel your legs starting to sort of backstep you towards the staircase, whether you want them to or not, he fades back in the shadows, slowly disappearing in just a last word then, Inquisitorial acolytes. I would advise you keep your wits about you. The Alpha Legion is known not only for their treachery, but also for their cunning. You never know whose eyes are their own. Gloria in excelsis terra. And as he ends that, he is fully in the shadows and out of your line of sight.
Is he at peace?
Hopefully. All right, credit drop. We're done here tonight. Any closing thoughts? Any last in-character moments before I bring in the beat boop music?
I
I'm so
think,
confused.
if you don't mind,
Go ahead.
Aria will try to hang back for a little bit. Whether I fall to this curse, or whether my faith will bring me through. Whether I burn or not. Watch this story with your full attention, will you?
A voice answers that is not Trazyn. You will not fall. You will soar. You will not burn. You will sing. And I think with that ominous note, we'll pull ourselves in to a lovely little ending for tonight. God, I've been holding on that Trazyn reveal for so fucking long. I'm glad to get out of here, friend. Jesus Christ.
Fun. I feel so cool.
Yeah, I'm glad it was fun.
Oh, hello.
Friends, I've been Foxy. This has been Bioshadow Peace, and you've all been an incredible group of people who do wonderful and lovely things. I'm gonna keep this real simple. Let my cats go around the circle, tell you who they are, who they played tonight, where they can be found, and what they got coming up next. And then we'll get the fuck out of here so I can go to sleep because I have work in the morning. Starting off, of course, with my best buddy Turk.
Okay, hi. First off, just digesting that. But secondly, hey everybody, I am Turk or Turk Accented. If and you want to praise the Emperor as well. I mean, you don't have to, but you should. You shouldn't actually. It's a whole complicated 40k thing. Anyway, just maybe. Ooh. I hate that. Anyway, I was playing Zadko Delos. I have a chain sword, and that is now the Galaxy's problem. If you want to see more of me and the words I say, and you think my face is pretty cool, first off, weird. Secondly, I will be on stream tomorrow over on Lost Caravan, where I will be playing another version of Bestus Boy in the form of Agent Maltese in Impossible Landscapes. It's a Delta Green campaign over there. I too, in that game, have a very impressive melee weapon. Not quite as legendary, but with a really cool name as well, called the Irons. And we'll see if I have to use it. Probably won't. Doing a lot of paperwork. But I'll probably learn a lot of terrible things. Beyond that, I will be over on this caravan for Orbital Blues on the 10th. I'll also be running some Call of Cthulhu on the 11th with the moderators of Lost Caravan. I promised to traumatize them even more. For some reason, again, they said sure. And last transmission here on the 12th, I believe, unless I messed up my dates. But yeah, I don't mess up my dates. And then on the 14th, because of Call of Cthulhu, it was such a roaring success, and we had so many awesome people give so much to the National Alliance on Mental Illness, and just really make such an awesome impact. I will be streaming a horror game, and you can make that worse. I still have to figure out some logistics, but yeah, I told myself I'd do it, and it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. Everything's gonna be okay.
What's the worst that could happen?
So much can happen, Dan. So much. There's so many cool games coming up in October. My schedule is absolutely packed, so I'll just do that next 2 weeks at a glance. Next week and a bit in a glance. But yeah, most importantly, keep it locked here. There's a bunch of awesome people you see on your screen. They are incredible creators and storytellers and just general people. So make sure you follow all of them and give them your love and support, because they not only deserve it intrinsically, but through their incredible effort to tell incredible stories. That's all from me. I got a cool sword. I've basically hit all the points I ever wanted to hit in this campaign ever, other than maybe using it. But we'll see.
Get there, don't worry.
We'll see. Well, exactly. We'll get there. About to cut the head off all of the Hydra. Anyway, see y'all next time.
Sliding on over to Michelle.
Oh, okay. Hi. It's me. I'm Michelle. I played Aria Yun, who may or may not be problem. She's got lots of warp problems. It's not great.
Well, you say the D word. It's bad right now. Don't say that word.
Yeah, we're yeah. Okay, that's great. It's not great. Anyways, if you want to know more about me, I don't exist on the internet, so don't go looking for me there. Except maybe our Discord.
Want to
Right.
know more about her? Too bad.
Yeah, too bad. Sucks to suck. That kind of stuff. But if you do want to see me, I will be here tomorrow for our A Blade's Will campaign, our rotating Naruto one-shot campaign, which will be the Alliance of Heaven tomorrow. So tune in and take a look. It's going to be... it's gonna be rough! It's gonna be rough! Just saying. So, but otherwise you can catch me again on Monday for The World Within You, where I play a literal cat, so I get to be a cat. It's great. It's wonderful. So after your daily depression, we'll have our daily cat therapy. There we go.
Wow. Speaking of people who are great and also in The World Within You, Dan.
Hey, that's me. I am, in fact, in the world within you. Also, I'm Land the Den. You can follow me on Twitter at Land the Den and Blue Sky at Land the Den. I don't post anything yet. But before World Within You, I am going to be in the very first of our Neon Frights one-shots this Friday, the 6th,
Right.
where we all will be playing Scooby-Doo characters and may or may not come across a real haunting. But yeah, we're still working out who's going to play what, but I've got my eye on either Shaggy or Fred, so look forward to that. No guarantees, though.
You do great as Fred. You got the mind for traps.
True. It's true. It's true. It's true.
Guys, you're not going to believe this, but I have a plan. But yeah, like I said, I'm also in the world within you this Monday. I play musician. That's cool. We just fucked up a clown, and so now we gotta fuck up shitty Banksy
As you should.
with supernatural powers.
Well,
Yeah,
anything else?
that's what I'm doing. Not until further notice.
Got it. Understood.
Yeah.
Well, that solidified and nothing else has died. We of course bring ourselves to last, but anything but least, Meg Mysteria.
Hello, everybody. I am Meg and/or Meg Mysteria. I got to play Lara Talone and/or Edelvara Talone. I fucked up my own name.
I fuck it up in my head, so don't worry about it.
Happens to the best of us.
That's what happens when you have different languages coexisting.
Woo!
As far as where you can find me as Meg Mysteria on Twitch, Twitter, on Itch. I just released a new game for Lost Caravan's game October game jam called These Old Bones, and it's about deteriorating immortality. So that's fun. But as far as where you can see me coming up, I'm also on Blue Sky now, so there's that. As far as where you can see me coming up, we'll just do next week. So next Tuesday will be our next installment of Camp Runner's Cross, which is our wonderful cast is just a bunch of queer little kids going to summer camp. Nothing dark and ominous about that at all.
Nope, nothing bad at all. It's just a nice game with wholesome vibes and nothing else. Promise.
Yep. Nothing. Nope. I'm not writing a system specifically about slashers. That's not a thing. Anyway, because I actually do horror games, you'll see me next Thursday on the 12th for Last Transmission right here on Neon Lights. So, we're working on it. They're going into medical. I'm a fear.
Why are you afraid? That's
I'm a
not
fear.
great.
I'm a fear. So you
Fantastic.
should be a fear.
That gives me so much hope. Well, I guess that rounds it back on over to me, yeah?
Yes,
Hi,
it
friends.
does. Tell us
I'm
about
Young
Philly's
Foxy.
Greatest Fox.
Oh, that's me, apparently. I call myself that sometimes. I'm Young Foxy, a.k.a. Big Foxy, also known as your favorite Fox Philly's finest. I'm on the internet at Young Foxy. It's YUNGFOXXI. Sometimes it's an underscore in the middle if you look for it. I do all kinds of cool stuff, namely right here in Neon Lights Roleplay. The next places you'll see me are possibly on screen Friday for Neon Frights as well, along with our good friend Dan. You'll also see me swinging around next week for a couple of cool things, namely Tuesday for Minerva Exodus, a Lancer campaign, as well as for some other cool stuff going on. But beyond that, I'll be pushing on through the month of October with some great stuff. This has been a wonderful session of our game, and I cannot wait to bring more of it to life with you all. I thank you all for coming out tonight. Please be kind to yourselves, everyone else around you, and all the people who are close to your heart. We will see you back here in exactly 4 weeks, possibly sooner. And we'll keep until then, take care. Bye. Hey, shut up.